I hate to say it, but I have been seeing a world war approaching in the astrology since as early as the summer of 2023. I first stated it in one of my YouTube videos that I posted mid-July of 2023. It was the new moon of Cancer, which was July 17th, 2023, and it was in that alignment that I first saw the world war. And hello, my name is Eliane Nicole. I'm your astrologer and tarot reader, and in this video I'm going to talk about exactly what I saw in that alignment that so distinctly said to me that a world war was coming, even though that wasn't on the table at the time. But first, before I get into the translation, and there were also subsequent, after that first time I saw the alignment, there is subsequent astrology that also continued to indicate that this was likely coming. But before I get into the translation, I just want to say only the first 3 minutes are going to be on Instagram. The entire video will be available on my YouTube channel, Eliane Nicole. My YouTube channel is my name, Eliane Nicole. Please find me there. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Also, there's a link in the description notes to book a reading with me. If you're watching on Instagram, please make sure that you are following astrology.tarot.Eliane Nicole. And there is also a link in the bio there to book a reading with me. And now, without further ado, so that new moon of Cancer, mid-July of 2023, was in a grand cardinal cross. And this is one of the most difficult, challenging alignments because it involves 4 planets all squaring off, 2 oppositions, and then the rest are squares, all very hard angles. And the new moon is always the sun and the moon conjunct. So the new moon was conjunct at 29 degrees Cancer, opposing Pluto at 29 degrees Capricorn, which was the final degree of a very long process. Pluto had been in Capricorn. That degree has been very much associated with the crumbling of the old world. And I've done videos as well about that, that also indicated what was to come. So I'm going to put links in the description of my YouTube to go to the Pluto at 29 degrees Cancer video, go to the Mars opposing Pluto video, go to the new moon of Cancer video, go to the full moon of Aries video of, I believe that was in September of 2024, or maybe even August. All of these alignments, you know, all of the eclipses along the Aries Libra axis, they all kept telling the story. But it was this first alignment with these 4 planets squaring off because the new moon and Pluto were also in a square with the nodes of fate that had just entered the Aries Libra axis. The Aries Libra axis is the axis of war and peace. So we had the nodes of fate at 29 Aries and 29 Libra, the new moon and the sun, you know, that's what makes a new moon, the moon and the sun together, at 29 Cancer, and Pluto at 29 Capricorn. This is as grand as a grand cross can get. The 29th degree of every sign is, the ancients called it the anaretic degree of that sign, but it's the most potent degree of the sign. It really packs a punch. And oftentimes the 29th degree is associated with the shadow qualities of that sign. And so it's considered a kind of an honorary degree. It's a urgent degree. So it usually involves a sense of urgency. It's like do or die. It's like now or never. There's like some finality to it. And so with the cardinal signs in this grand cross alignment, it said very loudly to me that 4 world superpowers would be squaring off. And really 5, if you look at the sun-moon conjunction, that's a very strong alliance. It's almost like one person, which I believe is America, Israel in the situation. And basically, when I first saw the alignment, you know, Pluto was in the bins of the nodes with the nodes of fate, and the sun and the moon were in the bins with the nodes of fate. When planets are in the bins with the nodes of fate, it's a time where a fateful decision is being made, and it can go either way at that time. There's one choice that is where the cosmic currents are pulling you, and there's another choice where, with, you know, some wisdom and transcendence, you can maybe go against the grain to alter the path. But pretty much it looks like war was inevitable. It looks like it was somehow this was going to happen, because it's much bigger than what's just going on in the here and now. And I say that because all the outer planets have recently shifted signs. The outer planets are the transpersonal planets. They move so slowly that whole generations are born with them in the same sign. So in our charts, it often has more to do with what we have in common with our generation, the era that we're born into. And so it has a lot to do with collective experiences, you know, the vibe, you know, the music, the fashion, the hair, whatever is going on, the cars, like the look, the feel of certain eras. And so right now we're in a time where that is shifting drastically. We are in a big era shift right now. And a lot of people have been you can feel it, you can see it, it's tumultuous. You know, with all the outer planets changing signs all at the same time, the timing of that is so rare, you know, and so it really lets us know that this is a very pivotal, important moment of history that we're in right now. You know, Pluto is newly in Aquarius. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius, we had the American Revolution, the French Revolution, the Haitian slave revolt. Neptune is newly in Aries. The last time Neptune was in Aries was the Civil War. Uranus is about, you know, and then Saturn's in Aries too, shorter term transit, but there with Neptune really drilling down on these wars that are, you know, the beginning of new wars or new phase of the war that are going on. And then you have Uranus about to go to Gemini, July 9th. The last time Uranus was in Gemini was towards the end of World War II. And so it took a really long time for all of these planets to come around to this point, and they were all on different timelines. Pluto took 248 years, Neptune took 165 years, and Uranus took 84 years. So basically, we're at a point in history where we're paying a karmic bill from 248 years ago, from 165 years ago, and 84 years ago. So it's like there's three huge karmic bills all on the table at once, all coming around, and it's time to pay the fiddler, you know? And so it's much bigger than us, and it has a lot to do with the, you know, overarching evolution of humanity. And of course, we are all affected personally by it who are here now, but this karma was passed down to us by past generations. How we respond to the moment is the karma that we are passing down to future generations. But this world war was evident in the astrology of 2023, July 2023, that new moon of Cancer. And it was a turbo new moon. It was more than a new moon, because of course we have a new moon every month. But that new moon was a new moon that had legs. And I said it in that video when I did it because of its relationship with the nodes of fate and with Pluto. This new moon had far-reaching karmic consequences. And I think that it was at this time that these plans were being laid down for this world war that's starting to occur now. I actually thought it would be sooner in the astrology. I thought that they would strike Iran January 10th, when the nodes of fate were just about to change from the Aries Libra axis. I thought when the nodes got to 0 degrees, the world point, that's when they would strike, and it would be kind of world war status. Also, let me make it clear, I didn't know who the players were involved when I saw the alignment of the world war coming in the July 2023 astrology. At that time, there was nothing on the table that looked like a world war was imminent. I mean, there was stuff popping and going on. There always is, it's planet Earth. But Hamas had not struck Israel yet. So when I saw that alignment, even in the video, if you watch the video, I'm like, it looks like 4 world leaders squaring off. And I was like, is that a world war? I was even surprised by what I was seeing, but I was trusting the instrument of the astrology and just reading what I was seeing. Cut to 3 months later, the Libra solar eclipse conjunct the South Node, the end of peace, the beginning of war, and that was Hamas struck like just days after that solar eclipse. I think we were maybe in an eclipse portal when that happened. Anyway, then I knew what the situation was that was going to lead to this world war that the July summer alignment had told me about. And then as the eclipses happened along the Aries Libra axis, they kept saying it. And not only that, Mars opposed Pluto. Mars came to Cancer, that same 29th degree that the new moon had been at in July of 2023. November 3rd, 2 days before the election, Mars was at that same degree, opposing Pluto back at that same degree. Cancer and Capricorn, which Cancer, homeland security, ancestors, roots, bloodline, home, residence, safety, privacy, security, all of that, opposing Pluto at 29 Capricorn. Again, the end of the old world, the crumbling of the old world, the patriarchy wanting to hold on to that old world. And so that opposition 2 days before the election indicated to me that something very ominous was going on around the election. And again, I think that these plans were being solidified for what was to come with this war and this takeover. And I also believe, I suspect Iran knew this was likely coming too. I also saw in the astrology that there's going to be an attack on American soil. Again, I thought it would happen sooner than this, just like I thought the attack on Iran, the strike on Iran would happen sooner. But I do believe it's coming. I believe that whoever is attacking us has already implemented on American soil. I don't know what they call that, sleeper cells, whatever. Like, I think it's already here. And it's just a matter of time. And I don't know exactly where, and I don't know exactly when. I'm going to continue to monitor the astrology because the oracle will tell me when it wants me to know, and share it, I suppose. But this has been coming in the astrology, and I just wanted to do a short video, and also the Neptune Saturn conjunction in Aries is very much map changing energy. So, the map is going to be changing over the next 2.5 years while Saturn is in Aries with Neptune. It's very much the dissolving of borders, you know, and the changing of where the lines are. Also, I want to say that Neptune Saturn conjunction that's starting to form, we're getting a little foreshadowing this summer. It's exact February 26th. And I've also been saying in my videos, I don't remember exactly which ones, I have to go back and see. It's likely the Neptune going into Aries video, maybe the Saturn going into Aries video, but this Neptune Saturn conjunction in Aries, February 2026, looks very much like war at sea. I'm guessing Taiwan. So this is all in the astrology. And when it's in the astrology, I just want to say, I'm not saying this just to be like, I called it. Like, no, I'm saying this to say it's fascinating. But when it's written in the cosmos, there is obviously deeper wisdom that's here. There are deeper lessons that are here that's available for us to draw from, to learn from, and to steer the best course of action. And to understand the karma and to understand then what our dharma is, what our place is in it, what can we contribute to, you know, the karma that's being passed to future generations in, you know, the most positive way. I didn't do a script for this video. I'm just kind of going off the top of my head. I just wanted to stop in and talk about it because it's something that I saw so long ago. I thought it would come sooner, and now it's here. I know that there's a lot of fear out there about this, and it is a very scary thing. It is a very terrible thing. I think that war is always terrible. I'm personally a pacifist, but when, you know, it's written in the cosmos, we have to trust that there is a divine order to what's going on. And yeah, I want to offer some comforting words. There is a lot of beautiful astrology that's going on right now. You know, Jupiter is in Cancer. So I think on the other side of the coin, there is a lot of humanity that is rising up to the occasion with philanthropy, with compassion, with empathy, with activism, you know, with helping, you know, families and people that are in need. And this Jupiter in Cancer transit over the next year, I'll also put a link below. I'm going to put a link below to all of the relevant videos that you can watch to catch up. But it does show that there's a lot of grace and a lot of blessings. So I just want to continue to encourage people to just look around you in your personal lives and make your gratitude list, because really, as much as the world is a shit show, these are the good old days, believe it or not. And so, yeah, we do need to brace ourselves. We need to think of ways that we can contribute into the good in the world, you know, fight the good fight. But, yeah, these are turbulent times, and it's written in the stars. You know, this is on the cosmic curriculum for humanity. And, you know, I don't know what else to say, you know. I wish that I could offer more comforting words about a world war potentially breaking out. But the most comfort that I can offer is that it's written, and I think overall it has to do, all of the astrology, when I look at the entire sky, it has to do with more progressive, an evolutionary push towards more progressive politics in the future. But this is the dark period. We're in the demolition period. You know, Pluto in Aquarius is in those early stages, retrograde right now, you know, going back over those third degrees. demoing, you know, and before we can build something that's more ideal for the future. And a lot of what we're experiencing is like the death rattle of the old world, you know. The patriarchy, these old dinosaurs and these old dinosaur systems and structures, all these archaic ways of living on the planet are, you know, they're croaking, but they're not going down without a fight. It's a knockdown, drag out for the future. But there are a lot of really beautiful and joyful experiences to come in the year ahead, but it looks like a world war is likely. I'm so sorry to report. Anyway, I'm going to wrap there. If you would like to contact me for a personal reading or a world events reading, I would love to read for you. I read on Zoom, so I can read for people anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. Astrology is my passion. I love to share it with others. Please don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Like, comment, share. It helps me in the algorithm. If you would like to buy me a coffee or tea or croissant to thank me for this offering, I'll also put my Venmo in the description notes and you can make a donation. And thank you so much for joining me.